President Rodrigo Duterte declares the wearing of face shields indoor and outdoor is still required. In a tweet Monday night, June 21, presidential spokesman Harry Roque says Duterte is acting on the advice of health experts and in view of the Delta variant. Roque previously said in a press briefing, face shields are no longer required in outdoor areas. He says the country's pandemic task force did not appeal the proposals to change the face shield policy. This comes after a string of confusing announcements about the country's face shield guidelines. Meantime, the health department reports 4 new cases of the COVID-19 Delta variant, which is believed to be driving the surge in infections in India. The Philippines now has 17 cases of this virus type. The DOH also reports 14 new cases of the Alpha variant and 21 new cases of the Beta variant. The DOH says it urges local governments to implement strict border control to prevent the spread of the Delta COVID-19 variant. The Philippines signs its biggest supply deal for vaccines in 2021, procuring 40 million doses of the Pfizer BioNTech vaccine. Vaccine czar Carlito Galvez Jr. says Sunday, June 20, the vaccines are expected to arrive in the Philippines after 8 weeks starting August. Galvez adds this is the country's biggest and most decisive deal for vaccines. The Pfizer-made vaccines are considered one of the most effective at preventing COVID-19 infection. A recent survey by Social Weather Station says Pfizer vaccines are one of the most preferred by Filipinos. Senate President Vicente Soto III says Ilocos Sur kingpin Chavit Singson joining the Nationalist People's Coalition will strengthen the party's power up north with less than a year before the 2022 elections.
Aside from being the godfather of Ilocos Sur, he is the president of the League of Municipalities and therefore he carries a lot of political weight. So joining the NPC, I think he has added luster to our already solid political party.
Singson's membership to the NPC is seen as a strategic asset for the party as it gears up for the 2022 elections.
Given the fact that we also have a honorary member in Ilocos Norte, Rudy Parinas. So it's very strong for the party on entry ni Governor Singson.
Soto believes Singson may either seek re-election as Narvacan mayor or run for governor in 2022. He says there is a possibility for the NPC to field its own standard bearer in the 2022 elections, but they are still in the process of consulting their members. Soto earlier said he would run for vice president in 2022, only if his close friend and ally, Senator Panfilo Lacson, guns for the presidency. Hong Kong pro-democracy newspaper Apple Daily will be forced to shut in a matter of days. This comes after authorities froze the company's assets under a national security law. Mark Simon, advisor to jailed owner Jimmy Lai, says Monday, June 21, they thought that they will be able to make it to the end of the month, but it's just getting harder and harder. Vendors tried to put money into their accounts but were rejected. Chief Editor Ryan Law and Chief Executive Officer Chung Kim Hong were denied bail on Saturday. They were charged with collusion with a foreign country. 3 other executives were also arrested on Thursday when 500 police officers raided the newspaper's offices. Some reporters also received threatening phone calls from unknown sources. Media advocacy groups say the closure of Apple Daily will undermine Hong Kong's reputation as an open and free society. This will also send a warning to other companies that can be accused of colluding with a foreign country. 2 months after the release of Fearless, Taylor's version, Taylor Swift on Saturday, June 19, announces that she will be dropping the re-recorded version of her 4th studio album, Red, on November 19, 2021. The 31-year-old singer shares via Twitter that Red, Taylor's version, will feature all 30 songs that are meant to go on Red, including a 10-minute track. The Grammy-winning artist says Red musically and lyrically resembled a heartbroken person. She also says she returned to the studio and experimented with different sounds and collaborators, like trying on pieces of a new life. Taylor released Red in October 2012. Taylor released the re-recording of her hit 2008 album Fearless in April 2021, which included 26 tracks. Taylor began re-recording her albums after a long-running dispute with her former record company Big Machine and music executive Scooter Braun over the rights to her chart-topping songs.